It's crazy to believe that I was a smiley kid in class when I was younger. Not a care in the world for what was going on. Back then it's not as if you would have that many problems or any real responsibilities of real importance. At least not for a young kid. These are like the times when we're still like trying to figure out about ourselves. You still exploring, still picking up sticks, still disobeying your mom. But to the naked eye, or even probably to this smiley kid sitting in this picture, I think those are the moments that determine your ambition to craft creativity. Growing up, it was just me, my mom's, my little brother. I never got honor roll, at least not after the 5th grade. I never really had my name on a special roster, but I still had a pretty good head on my shoulders. Mostly because of my mom. I can recall quite a few times where I would get in trouble and my moms would discipline me, teach me the benefits of listening and observing. At least that's all the time when I was in punishment. And growing up, that's mainly what I did, was learn how to observe and be better than. Whenever I used to enter into a new classroom, I would always sit in the middle section of the class because I figured it wasn't in the back with the students who weren't statistically paying attention. And it wasn't in the front, where all the obnoxious kids was at. It kind of put me like in a good medium position. Let me keep an eye on everybody, or at least everybody on the same level as me, and then allowing me to learn from them as well as become friends with them. But being an observer meant that I wanted to learn so much stuff. Not only that, but I wanted to be good at it as well. There used to be a point where I wanted to be so many things that I observed and learned from, that pinpointing one solid thing was almost always the most difficult task to me. I just knew that I wanted to be an observer. I had already started dancing and acting. I had probably even worked on some stuff on Photoshop, started getting into video editing. And of course, my mom didn't approve at all, because it was just something that was just way far-fetched. But I do believe she did see something in me. I remember the first time she came to one of my shows. To watch me perform. I really tried to do my best to show her oldest son could be something amazing. That, I wasn't just wasting my time on things that I enjoyed. And I think without us even to have to even exchange words, those moments in the movies where the main character gets those phone calls from family saying that their mother's sick? Well, I ignored that phone call. Last thing I remember saying was, I'll be back on Friday. Because I was in the military by the time I was 19, and I had to go back to base. Well, Friday came, and I got a second phone call. The one where the main character breaks down and cries when they're out with their friends because their mom's best friend just gave them a call? Yeah, that was me. I still remember standing in the handicap stall on the phone, not being able to unlock the door. My mom had passed away that day. Same day I was supposed to come back and see her. May 19th, 2012. After that, I thought of all the possible scenarios my life could have probably turned had she survived. Where I would be. How she'd be able to live in some big mansion, on some hill, in some state. Or even how it would have been had I been in the hospital that day. But none of that happened. At this point in time, and I tried to go back to my roots in entertainment, figuring out what it was that I did best. or at least even gave me a glimpse of happiness. All my life lessons and my struggles and lectures from my mom had given me, from my mom, that, and that's where it hit me. All my life lessons and struggles, lectures my mom had given me when I was growing up, they all blended into one right at that very moment. I guess all that observing I was doing as a kid wasn't for no good reason at all. All that being wrapped around entertainment and being passionate about the things that I strive to be better made me realize I had an eye in entertainment as well as an eye for entertainment. I had an eye for film. And that's when I knew I wanted to be a director. Now I'm here on this journey making these goals and turning the ambitions into something proud for my mother. Something that I could make a legacy for her. Something that she could look back and say, now you see why I put you in timeout. So you could sit, listen, and watch. Because that's exactly what I do. I sit, listen, and watch. And when I make it to Hollywood and I'm big like Steven Spielberg and J. Abram, that's what I'll still be doing. Sit, listening, and watching. To observe and be better. And that's my story. I'm Felipe Diaz, and I'm a creative director.